What's up, fellow clashers? It's Apollyon here. In this video, we're not going to do a how-to, but we're going to focus on that attack witch slap. Now, I've fought this long enough. I'm just giving in. I mean, it's such an overpowered attack. Um, I don't know. I don't know what it is that I have against it, but it just seems like it's a little too. I get it's the very little planning. I mean, it still fails. We've had it fail against us many times, and we failed a few times as well. If you guys wanted me to actually do a how-to video on exactly what you're going to look for, how you're going to deploy everything like that, let me know in the comments, and I will do a tutorial on exactly what bases you're looking for, pretty much, or where you're looking to come in and all that. I'll talk about it a little bit on here, but not step by step. So there's a couple of different ways you can do it. The witch slap basically is using witches, mass witches with healers. All right, so the more or the lower heroes that you have, the more golems you're going to bring. You can bring up to 3 golems. That's going to be if you have extremely low heroes and you need a really big push. But if you bring 3 golems, you're basically going to have no witches. And healers, it's going to be very limited. You might actually have to do that bewitched attack that I showed before. But, 2 golems is not too bad, as you can see. Silent Assassin brings 2 golems here for a stoned, shattered entry, because she wants to push all the way through the entire base with those golems, 2 jumps. And this is traditionally the spell count you want. 2 jumps, 1 rage, 1 heal. You can bring 3 rages, a jump. You can bring 2 heals, 2 rages. It really just depends on the base. But we're going to show a couple different compositions, 3 different attacks with 2 different compositions here just to show you, or 3 different compositions, just to show you kind of how it works out. And the basis of the attack, without going into too much detail, is dropping your about half of your witches on each of the corners with the 2 healers on each side, and then saving 1 or 2 witches in the middle for their kill squad to go up. And the witches will walk in from the edge to all the way down to the other edge on each side, and then the golem, king, queen, bowlers, and a couple of witches will clean up the center, and everybody will meet at the end and have a party and do shots. So this is going to be done in like 2 minutes. So sometimes one of the problems with witch attacks or witch slaps is time. They don't make it through the base or whatever it is, but in this particular case, they chew through it. It's a very, very wide open base, which is just perfect for witch slap, which is fantastic. The one thing you're looking out for is air defenses on the corners. Air defenses on the corners will sweep, we'll go ahead and snipe all those healers and take care of that. Look at, there's a Tesla farm, and those witches are able to keep up with it, sending those Larrys out. The Teslas focus on the Larrys, and the queen, the witches get healed throughout the whole entire thing. It's just crazy, this attack. So anyway, we've got the witches funneling on the sides, and then we've got the kill squad with the king, queen, bowlers, and golems coming up the gut there, dropping that first the first jump down, and will probably rage in. They've already taken care of the clan castle, so they'll probably rage in just a little bit. There we go, raging through the core with a second jump to push through the base. They're going to speed ahead of those witches that are making their way towards those air defenses, and in a perfect world, there we go, we're going to heal up those bowlers in the core as they don't have any healers on them. In a perfect world, they'll take out those ADs before the witches get down there, but you know what? We've already lost all of our healers on the right-hand side, and we're losing quite a bit on the left-hand side. But the Larrys, that those little skellies that the witches spawn, they basically act like shields, so you don't need to have a heal on them the entire time. The heal is really for mortars and for any giant bombs that they trigger on the outside of the base. So we've got a king that still has ability, we've got a queen that still has ability, and both of them are completely full health. We have a couple, at least 1 bowler, and just a whole bunch of witches that are coming in from the top and bottom to that poor couple of cannons. Yeah, this base never had a chance. They're just completely swagging 2 abilities and just tons of different troops, and beating it in just about 2 minutes. So really nicely done. That's one version of the witch slap. The other one, we'll look at 26, and we'll check out credit doing. This is the one that I traditionally use. I use 1 golem, and then I use 4 witches on each side with the healers, and then 2 witches to come up in the core with the kill squad. 2 jumps, 1 rage, and 1 heal. And I don't know what that skelly spell is for, to be honest with you, because really you don't need it. I mean, I guess you can distract the queen, the enemy queen, with that if necessary, or if it gets down towards the end and you need to distract a Tesla or a cannon or an archer tower expo, they're always good for that as well. So, but pretty confident with this. Just only bring in 3 wizards, because look at the compactness of this, or how wide the base. It's very narrow, so it's very easy to get that kill squad in there with those witches funneling on each of the sides. So we're going to drop them in at 3 o'clock and noon, or whatever you want to call noon. There we go. So we've got the 8 witches already deployed with the healers backing them up, and they're going to start working their way down towards the opposite ends of the base, and then we'll drop that golem in here in just a second. And you want to give those witches and Larrys time to do their funneling, because you don't want the healers to take away, to be taken from the witches and go on that golem, if at all possible. There we go, dropping a couple more witches down to do some more funneling. And we've got a whole bunch of witches coming in the core. We do have a couple of them spawning down, but we've got the golem already doing his thing. We've got the bowlers now being dropped in. That funnel is completely done. They've only got one way to go, and that's straight through the core. And then we've got the queen, king, and bowlers making their way through. I think we were raging up. Got the other jump down there. Now, we didn't heal yet. We still have all of our bowlers. It would drop in that poison there. Still haven't dropped the skelly spell though. But under that heal there, all the bowlers are going to live. The king, queen. King has to use his ability, but he's still got a queen full health with ability left over. We do have a couple of witches at the top left. It looks like all the other witches have either died or have come in the core to help out with that kill squad, which is still okay, because all those Larrys distract all those point defenses and just stretch things out really nicely. We've got all those archer towers down at the 4 o'clock area. Now we've just got 1, 2, 3, 4 point defenses left, and 1 splash, or 2 splash. Pretty soon 1 splash. And with the queen ability and a skelly trap, they really don't need hardly anything left to take care of that base. Especially right here, the queen can take these things out by herself, and that mortar is absolutely nothing. Still have that skelly spell, which has finally been dropped. And I think I missed out where that skelly spell has been dropped. Maybe, I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. Base is completely toasted. And that's usually what you want to do with the Witch Slap, is come in through the narrow end of the base and just work your way through. Last one, it's a very similar comp to that, but we're using 9 witches instead. And still bringing 1 golem, but bringing 4 wizards and wall breakers to break into the first compartment, which is just going to help the jumps push all the way through the base. There we go with those witches coming in at 3 o'clock, but we haven't dropped any healers yet. Don't know why we haven't dropped any healers yet. There we go. There's the healers. And then we've got the other witches coming in at the noon. There we go with the wall breakers coming in to get those golems, king, queen, bowlers all the way through the base. Drop that first jump, and this is exactly what the witches are supposed to do. Just go ahead and split up on each side and work their way throughout. At some point, those healers are going to be in the range of that 80 if the kill squad doesn't come and get them first. Dropping that heal to heal up those bowlers in the core. They do get the air defense, which is fantastic. And now there's only 2 air defenses left, but that is towards almost the bottom of the base, so not a big deal. Tesla's popping, and it shows you the power of it. Those Larrys just get distracted by the Teslas. Teslas can't do enough damage to the witches that when they're standing under the healer's range, so it's just like a constant fight that they will lose every single time. So healers have switched over to, I think, the golem, it looks like, but there's almost no defenses left except for the couple archer towers and a Tesla farm, and then a couple splash damage, which really isn't going to do too much. This is the power of when you bring the healers. If you do the traditional bewitched attack where you're just bringing witches and golems, those mortars cause a lot of problems. Splash damage killed Larrys in 1 shot, and also continually wear down those witches with just maybe 5 or 6 hits, and then you lose your witches. But mortars can't do damage fast enough for the healers to keep up, so it's just again a losing battle for the base. And you're seeing a queen with full health with ability needing to take out 2 Teslas and an archer tower. Drops, hits a giant bomb, and it's not going to even phase her. Golemite's tanking, Larry's tanking. I think there's at least 5 witches still up with a bowler, and it's just about time to take out that Tesla. So I hate to say it, but it's just an incredibly powerful attack. So again, go ahead and try it out. I think I've been using it just in friendly challenges, and I think my first 4 hits were 3 stars fresh. So but I'm used to it with the Bewitched attack. I used to use that quite a bit, so it's just a variation of that, and you can see the composition right there. Go ahead and play around with it. Get used to, like, switching either. If you have lower heroes like 15-15, you're going to need those golems to tank for you. They're the king and queen are not going to be able to get as far of a push as they would with 30-30 heroes. So the more golems you bring, the further you'll get in there, and make sure you use those jumps to push them through, and just test it out yourself and get used to it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. Please share it with your clan mates if you guys enjoy these videos and benefit from them. I'm sure they will as well. So just again, I said it already, use the friendly challenges. Just hit different types of bases, compact bases, open bases. Get used to the timing of when you need to send your kill squad in after the witches have done their funneling and all that kind of good stuff. Watch this video over again just to see it, and again, leave me a comment if you do want to see a little bit more in-depth tutorial of different types of witch slap compositions and what bases you're looking for and why you're coming in on which side. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Go ahead and get those 6-star clan wars and practice those 6-star or 3-star attacks.